You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 17th meeting for the LaPorte County Board of Commissioners. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Hi there.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the LaPorte County Commissioners meeting, Wednesday, December 17th at 6 p.m. If everyone would stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Coral, if you would guide us.
I would like to also add a moment of silence afterwards for former council member Scotty Ford, who passed away last week.
Hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Joe Haney,
Present.
Steve Halsio,
Present.
Connie Graham Rose.
Present.
You have everyone present, you have the quorum.
Consider agenda.
I would like to add a couple things to the agenda. Under new business 11H, we need to ratify the emergency order for the JSC building for the heating issue out there. And is Andrew Killen here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we would like to have you speak about your program during this public comment, sir. So I just want to let you know. Other than that, I think the agenda is fine then. Oh, and also remove
Right.
11F, the MCR contract till January.
All right, I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consider approval of the November 19 minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consideration of claims.
So we have payroll claims. We have payroll claims, 11/28/2025, $1,495,930.46. Then on 12/12, we had $1,598,458.38. For a total of $3,094,388.84.
Motion to approve payroll as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Operating expense claims, knowing that there was no meeting 2 weeks ago, this seems to be double, and it is, and it's $6,306,067.12. I just want to add a comment. One of the largest things in there was a $1.2 million contract in excess, and that was for the EMS for every vehicle. The equipment, the computer works that they have were outdated, but they were still working. But now they are all being updated as was scheduled, and those funds came from the Public Safety Local Income Tax Fund.
I make a motion to accept claims as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public comment. Public comment is now open.
Good evening, Commissioners. Andy Skiat, Marquis Electric, 203 East Harrison Street, Michigan City. Just a quick update about the bridge. We're all ready to go. So we went to the Board of Works meeting at the City of Michigan City, got permission to close the road. We did advertise the Coast Guard closure permit in the newspaper twice, like we're required to do. Other than that, things are on schedule, on track. We plan to close the road on January 5th and be done with our work and reopen the road, hopefully the latest of March 15th.
What, there was a question last time about the coldest day of the year walk. Did you get that clarified with the mayor over there?
I relayed that to the city planner, Skylar York, and just told him that I asked the question at the meeting and that it was decided at the meeting that if the city wished to bring that request forward, they should have representation from the city bring that themselves, and I let it go there. So.
And they've never showed up yet. Okay, do your job.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything the past year. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year. We appreciate it, everybody at the shop, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Christmas.
Public comment is still open.
Andrew, did you want to say something?
I've actually prepared some packets for you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's fine.
No, you're good.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Okay, so first off, I want to say thank you for allowing me this time to come here and speak about our organization. I'm the president and founder of Helping Hoosiers Heroes. It's a veterans, first responders, and future heroes nonprofit localized here in LaPorte County. We are focused on empowering veterans and first responders through education, workforce training, and community outreach. I'm currently in talks with Indiana Tech and partnering with them to help be able to get individuals certified and or degrees through their programming that they allow there. I'm also in talks with the Ivy Tech gentleman. He just got a job in the career workforce development in Ivy Tech, so I'll be able to focus on these local employers here in town and find out what they are really striving for from individuals within our community so that they can employ them. And we're going to focus on scouting talented individuals and help place them either with education or the employment here in the county. We have a couple different ideas for the youth program, like resume building, getting them excited about tech or trades, getting them interested in either building something or being a part of something that's already established here in LaPorte County. Today, I am here to raise attention to our organization as well as potentially ask for the city's partnership with us so that way we can unlock more access to facilities, to more resources, and help more people here in the county. With the packets in front of you, there's an entire program overview. We have the formal request. I also put in there as well maybe a proposed resolution. If I kind of went over and above with the preparation, I think, for today's discussion, but I wanted it all to be in there so you could look it over and be informed of what I'm asking. There's program breakdowns. We've already filed our 1023 with the IRS. We're just waiting on our determination letter. We have a fully functioning board, governance policy, conflict of interest. I would like to maybe ask if any of you had any questions for me.
Have you reached out to our Veteran Service Officer, Eduardo?
I have spoken with him briefly. He had just recently got into the position, so he wasn't aware of how well we could work together.
Okay.
But we're currently trying to make that happen, trying to find more time so that way we can talk about specific resources and maybe individuals within the county.
Okay, good.
Thank you for coming in and giving us this, and then we'll definitely have to look this over and then decide what we're going to do with it. But thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And
Thank you for all the information.
I'll reach out to Eduardo again tomorrow.
okay, thank you. Once again, I appreciate the time for be able to come here and speak and maybe the possible interest within our organization. So, thank you.
Thank
Do you
you.
have
Have a blessed
a
day.
card with your phone number
yes,
or
I
anything
do
in case
have.
we have additional information?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry that they were not in there. I apologize.
Okay.
1 second.
Well, you know, after the meeting, or tomorrow, you can call our office and leave your number with the secretary.
I
and
have
then
it.
Okay,
I have-
and
I
then
have
he'll
it.
forward that in case,
Yep.
once we review this, we'll give you any calls.
All right.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Public comment is still open. Anyone else for public comment?
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I've never attended one of these before. Hi there, Mr. Haney.
Hello.
I'm Joan Ludwig. I live on the corner of Marquette and Joliet Road. And I own the woods across the street with 4 lots. I want to know if anyone has any kind of a status regarding the mayor's desire to annex Sunnyside.
All I can tell you is the mayor is looking to annex, but he's not, he's holding his cards very, very close.
Well, he must have something up his sleeve, is what I'm thinking. That's Dermody. But I have a question regarding annexation. Does it go by subdivision?
I think it's by the territory that he's interested in.
Aha.
So,
Could our
and this is-
attorney give a little information about that legally,
Yeah,
how it
this
works?
this is public comment, so there really shouldn't be question and
Okay.
answer type. But typically, they will reach out to you, the city, they'll prepare, they need to get a petition together, they will present the petition. The county really has nothing to do with it, it's purely a city thing. And then the city will have to vote it, have their public hearings, and then eventually it'll have to come to a vote. So it's, it's pure statute. They will provide the petition and everything to the auditor's office, and that's how it works. So what they have in store, that's up to them.
We have no authority in annexation whatsoever. It's a sad state.
Yeah.
Reach out to your state legislators, tell them to change it.
Or
Yeah.
talk to your neighbors,
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
all-
Well, as,
if the people.
Well, I wondered about that.
Yeah.
This threat came about 2 years ago, but can we, like, pass out little flyers or let them
So-
know?
Again, this is public comment. We can't really give question and answer, but the community can do just what the community does when there's annexation with businesses coming in. You have First Amendment right to do whatever you feel that you need to do.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow or the next day,
Great.
and we can talk a little bit. But as a neighbor out there, I can tell you that I'll personally be first in line for remonstration against an annex out our way, because I think the city limits are fine where they're at right now on our side of town. So
I do too. I need to know too, since I have 4 lots, can I do it, get more than one vote? I mean, I guess I better contact my representative,
Yes, you should.
yeah.
tell him this crock.
IGA.in.gov. There'll be a wealth of knowledge down there.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And I'll talk to you later.
Yes.
Any other public comments? Seeing and hearing none, we'll close public comment and we'll move on to department head comments.
Good evening, Commissioners. Angie
Evening.
Davis.
Good evening.
Facilities Director. Couple things. I have some updates. Got a lot going on. We've had a lot of snow this year. I can tell you right now, we are $1,500 more into snow removal for this season than we were the entire year last year. So we're looking at a nice winter ahead of us.
Wintertime yet.
For the first time, we have pretty much a full staff. We have a full maintenance crew. We're technically -1 since Reed moved up, but we are doing a whole lot more than we have been in the last year and a half. I have an awesome crew behind me, taking care of a lot of things, keeping them busy. You guys know JSC had some air handler issues. I sent you guys some pictures of that. A couple of the air handlers froze. I'll have Reed touch on that here in a second. Community corrections, I know last week there were some reports that they didn't have heat for an entire week. I had reached out to Marika and Delora in Wiltshire. The call had come in Sunday at some point. Reed and I were in the jail until 2 o'clock Monday morning. The call came in. They said they tried to call his phone. We're in the jail. We don't have service in the jail. I took care of that on Monday. They were sitting at 68.5 degrees. Happy with that. They're doing well. We're checking on all of the buildings every morning, especially the courthouse. Couple other things that I just kind of wanted to touch on. We've been looking into like the different water softeners and different things in the buildings. Now that we have a whole crew, we can do a whole lot more. We have Greg working on the maintenance care app to where he's getting everything in, pictures in, so we can have air handler service, filters changed, all the maintenance that we need to have on the equipment. We're going to be able to do that. We have a system to where when those work orders go in, if we need to reach out to a vendor, we can email straight from our work order system, and it will give them all of the stuff that we've already done, so there's not communication errors. Some of the water softeners that we've been dealing with, we found that we haven't been adding enough salt in them. I know like the jail, sometimes they talk about their water issues and things. we're looking into that, tracking different things, how much we're using when it's getting low. We have a whole lot going on, and it's getting so much better and so much easier to where we can track purchase orders, track everything that we're doing for buildings, make it a little more clear, look at upcoming projects, and hope to avoid emergencies to where we're able to do the maintenance ourselves here. But I'm going to have Assistant Director Reed come up and kind of touch on JSC a little bit, and when he is done with that, we're going to ask Andy and Scott to come up to talk about the courthouse, because LG was out today. Amoresco is coming tomorrow, so we have some information on that. So, Reed, do you want to come up and touch a little on JSC? What you have, I have notes too.
Yep. Good evening. Reed Smith, Assistant Director of Facilities. I just wanted to kind of touch up on what happened with JSC and the freeze incident that occurred. The other night we had a very cold night, as you remember. There are certain safeties that are in place in the units that are responsible for heating the building that kind of didn't necessarily do their job, and they're responsible for opening up heating valves, closing outside air dampers, making sure that cold air doesn't come in and actually freeze the coils, and those failed. And we're still trying to track down exactly why they failed, but I do believe it comes down to a controls issue. We're doing everything we can to prevent any further incidents of this, checking not only that facility but other facilities, making sure that those safeties work properly, and trying to prevent another issue like this. And if you guys have any questions for me.
You sent me a proposal from JVS or J something.
Yes.
Okay, about updating
I'm
those
not
systems.
sure if I sent that in an email to all of you guys, if you had received it, and it was kind of crazy today. There was a proposal from January that came, that someone else had received, and we actually just came across it to replace the controls.
So I don't know how quite detailed you would like me to go. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know.
I saw that basically said those are obsolete.
Yeah, they are
guarantee 'em.
completely obsolete. The controls are responsible for operating everything when it comes to the heating and cooling of the building, down to the individual zones, the mass air movement throughout the building. And with these controls almost completely obsolete, we're not able to view them at any level.
So you're talking about the computer system, right?
Yeah.
That you have where you've got a little computer that kind of shows you which parts of the building are out and which ones are operating.
Yes, so that's responsible for not only maintaining the system, but alarms, any type of incidents that would occur.
So that's not functioning properly.
It is not functioning the way it should. And
The other night we put that condenser back in there. We had to, or Dan or whoever it was, he had to physically remove that valve out of the pipeline so that way the water would flow through because it was not responding.
yeah, so like I said, the heating valves that are supposed to open when it gets cold are not opening. So not only does that affect freeze incidents like we saw, but also standard operations. If there's no heating valve that's opening, they're not going to get heat. So as of 5 years ago, I believe, the software that we use for the controls went into the end of life cycle. So it is completely out of date at this point. And we do have proposals for, they're dated at this point, but there are proposals for replacing.
I'll get copies to you two tomorrow. I've got them on my desk. So,
But I do suggest not only updating that software and the controllers that go along with it, but also maybe having someone come in twice a year at the change of seasons and maintaining the system itself, checking sensors, dampers, controllers, everything that entails.
And in years past, we actually were able to fund like one person from the department to go out and get training. And so, if you look at a new system, find out if the system itself has the capability of sending someone out for training.
Yeah, we would be more than willing to do that if you would allow.
Proposal that they can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have one of the coils on order. I believe Monday they're shipping it. Andy and Scott were helping out with that. And then the other one will ship in 7 weeks because it's a 7-week lead time at this point, but we are getting one early to get the one up and running that is controlling the dorm rooms. And currently, they've opened all the vents from the gym to send some air over. They have some heaters in there. We've been in contact with them, what we can do if it gets cold, what we need to do to help them keep that warm. So
Did they start the gym floor yesterday, or they put that on hold?
they were supposed to start it yesterday, and it's been a little crazy, and I had not gotten over there today.
Okay.
So then we go into the courthouse, if you want to start touching on that, and then I'm going to ask Andy and Scott to come up. They were there when LG was there today. We were all I was kind of in and out doing some other things, but they have some information if you guys want to come up and. And Bruce was there too this evening. You wanna start?
Yeah, so just real quick, I did follow the LG tech. It's the third party, they're not directly through LG, but he did a very good job about diagnosing the system to the best of his abilities today. He did find a flaw in the system where when there's a power outage, I would say there's supposed to be safeties in place to prevent this, but it can lead to compressor damages, which we've seen a lot of compressors going through that system. And we're trying to track down exactly why, and it comes down to a few specific points. And really, it's any type of power failure when the power goes out. There's no backups to ensure that certain valves are closing or opening at a certain point, or keeping memory in the system of that. So when the power goes back on, these valves are either halfway open. The computer doesn't know exactly how open these valves are. So the refrigerant flows straight back into the compressor, flooding it with liquid refrigerant, which is not good for them. If it's not reset right, yes, which we didn't have any knowledge from the manufacturer on this procedure and how to properly start up from a power failure.
And now you have it.
Which, yeah, we're starting to make the standard operating procedure on
cool.
that specific.
And one of the other things is if we don't know the power went out at night, like there's no alarms telling us that the power went out. So if you come in the morning and you don't actually go and check any codes or anything like that, and we don't know there was even a surge, they're not restarting the proper way. So that's going to cause damage to the compressors.
Are you still doing building checks still?
Yes.
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 Okay.
And at this point, the floor 1 and floor 2 are completely shut down, correct? So the temporary heat is heating those. The third floor compressors are still working. So I'm going to let Scott and Bruce kind of touch a little more on what they helped out with today.
So it was a great day with that tech. He gave us a lot of information. I believe that we're definitely on the road to at least figuring out what's going on. Why are we losing so many boards? Why are we losing compressors? It's easy to just go ahead and replace the compressor, but why? There's got to be a reason. Those things are designed, if they're designed properly, you shouldn't be going through your compressors like you are. So today was valuable. We need to replace 2 boards on the second floor unit. After those boards are replaced, then they can test some more on that unit. They're great. You can plug a computer in and it'll tell you this and that all about it, but if the unit's not running, you can't get that information. So right now we got to get those 2 boards in there so we can do some more testing on the unit to see what else might be wrong with it. Also on the first floor, you have a compressor that's bad, so that compressor will need to be replaced. And then after the units are diagnosed, the tech is recommending that we go in there to each unit, pull out all the refrigerant, and actually weigh it. There's supposed to be X amount of pounds of refrigerant in each unit. So if there's not enough or there's too much, it's going to not operate properly. It's going to burn out compressors. If it's low, where is it at? Where is it going? So they're recommending that we pull all the refrigerant out, weigh it, see what it is, fill the system full of nitrogen, let it set 24 hours on a test, and see if it actually holds. Is it holding? Is there a leak in the system? If there's a leak in the system, we'll have to reevaluate it at that time. But
They use like a dye system for the leak, to find the leak?
it can do that.
Okay.
We'll put a dye in it, we'll get it on a pressure test overnight.
Okay.
24 hours, see what happens. But that's
That's what we know so far.
Well, once you guys get all that evaluated, we definitely need to sit down with the council and have a joint session to figure out how we're going to address this issue, because we can't keep using that temporary forever.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Cooley, are you or LG giving us a recommendation at this time is that something that is specific to that tech that came out, or how does this work, and what do we do to at least be able to diagnose it? Please explain that.
So we are waiting for the tech. He just left this afternoon on his way back to Indianapolis. He is going to give us a written report, all of us, of what he recommends needs to be done, and then we can go from there.
And so what do we hope to learn, or what's going to be the goal for Amoresco coming out tomorrow? I don't know.
musical microphone.
As much information as we can get from them, as far as, I mean, we've gotten some information that we found in our searching through things, but as much information as when they installed it, so we could possibly see if there was any changes from what they've installed to what maybe has happened through to date. Other people working on it, different things. I believe LG hasn't been out here in 6 years, so a lot of the repairs were done in-house, or I don't know who they were farmed out to at that time, per se. But hopefully we can kind of get some information of where they left off and where we're at now, to find out what changes and stuff, compare what they have to what LG has found and what these guys have found. Andy?
Thank you.
Hello again, Andy Skiat. So my understanding, I wasn't here today all day, with Reed and Scott, and Bruce actually came after hours to do some follow-up checking himself at my ask, along with Angie's. Just, I guess, some more input from me, from what I understand, is the fault with some of the valves and not having a memory. That is more of a overall condition, not specific to your building. That is specific to when the equipment was thought of, or the process. It's not like this building was put in wrong. That wherever you have this system and you have these valves and this equipment, you have the potential to experience that problem. So someone had previously put on some aftermarket electrical components in the units, which Bruce can speak on, that had tried to limit some of the problems. I'm going to say whoever did that maybe didn't know why the problem was happening. Like, they didn't know, okay, there's an issue with this valve and it doesn't have a memory, so it's letting coolant flow either direction improperly, but they knew that there was something causing this to burn up. So they tried to prevent that with some electrical safeties. Bruce has determined, which he can explain, I don't think they took that process far enough. So they didn't actually put in secondary contacts where, when there's an issue, that unit stays down. So like Miss Davis had alluded to, regardless of if she could be in there every hour, if that unit experiences a problem in the 5 minutes right in between the hours she's in there, nobody's going to know that. So there needs to be consideration from the commission, the council, to put some electrical processes in place to where if there's a glitch, that unit stays down and notifies Miss Davis and Reed that unit's down, and then they come perform the factory hard reset on that unit, which will then reset the memory on those valves to factory default, which then the unit knows what position that valve's in, and it's in the right position. So then when the unit goes to open it halfway, it's actually opening it halfway instead of opening it 7/8, because it was already 3/8 open. So that's the issue. So
when it goes down, it's trying to restart.
It doesn't know where it's at.
Where it's at, okay.
It doesn't know where it's at. So I think before someone was on to something where they knew that they didn't know why, but they knew the problems were kind of worked together, but based on what Bruce found, which was just in that afternoon, I don't think they took that far enough to where it actually keeps that defunctioned until someone from maintenance comes and performs a hard default reset, which I'm still not going to say that's not going to eliminate your problems moving forward, but that's going to greatly help your problems. It's not going to be like the silver bullet. You're still going to have problems, but it's going to eliminate quite a few of them.
Starting point.
And then also we're working with Reed. We just talked briefly again, all this has just happened quickly. We have to map that piping and figure out which valves are the key players, so that when we do the electrical part or whoever does it, if you choose to do that, that those valves can also have a solenoid or something ahead of them, and maybe those could get closed. And then it's not even possible to flow that compressor at the wrong volume or the wrong direction. So whatever you do, I don't think that LG or this tech is going to come out and say, here's your cure-all be-all. I think they're going to get us on the path of here's why the problem's happening, and you're going to have to design build it on how to solve it, because I don't think the factory has a plug and play option to do that for you. So they're going to get us to the point for here's why it's happening, and then you're going to have to take the ball from there and say, how can we limit this to the best of our ability?
Okay, good.
But now, if we're going to stay with the LG units, the thing is that we always had someone from maintenance that all the way back to 18, and then through our period, like in the early 2020, we would send like one of the maintenance people, and I know you guys aren't aware of this, but I mean, I'm just kind of trying to put the information out there so then you can decide whether you want to use it or not. We would send somebody out to their school. They had one down in Texas. They had, I think one was in Missouri maybe.
On Georgia.
And we were sending one of our maintenance people out there to actually train on it. So it might be something that, like, if this is a unit that we're going to keep, we might want to look into some of the training that they have.
I do believe that if we are going to be keeping these units, we should have some proper training on them, because they are much more complicated than our standard air handler units that we have in the rest of our facilities.
And they offered that for free, I believe.
We had to pay for it. But
According to the documents, it was for free.
That might have been an initial
Okay.
Since they installed it, they might have offered some training. I can't say anything as far as for the present day, but I do believe having someone properly trained on the units would be beneficial to the future and longevity of the units.
And so I understand correctly, there was secondary market pieces put on these units?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we aren't sure who they came from.
Yeah. Just that you found secondary.
We found them, and
okay.
they were not a part of the original drawings for the units themselves. And so we do think that someone was onto a solution at some point, and I just don't think that they quite got to that point.
Understood. Okay.
Okay.
One thing while I got you guys up here, Andy, you and your team, I've worked you guys twice now this last week. Great job. Building maintenance, you've had some major snowstorms, ice, freezing, everything. You're doing an amazing job with the parking lots.
It's over in the office.
Yeah,
so we can see.
and you guys are doing an amazing job in the streets, sidewalks, parking lots, just amazing with what you're doing. And like I said, I had to work with you guys too the last couple of days, so you guys stay busy, and you're doing a great job.
I don't know if I told you guys that. We did get a salter for the back of the truck finally, just a tailgate salter, so that will help keep some of our parking lots up. Highway's been helping us with our outbuildings, getting those salted. But we did get that, and we got the gator back today, which will help tremendously too. So, do you want
So I'll let you guys know you're doing a good job.
Thank you. Pretty much covered. Bruce with Marquis Electric. I was called this afternoon to come out and take a look at this thing, and what I found in there was what I expected to find. It's a phase monitor. It's an aftermarket that was put in the units to try to protect the compressors. What they did was, it just, how can I explain this to you? It's actually a programmable unit, so it has a range of voltage that it watches. And if any of the legs step out of that area, that realm, it shuts the unit down. It uses the high pressure limit switches on the unit to do that. And the second it steps out, it shuts down, shows a fault, and you have to reset it. If you don't reset it, it will not come back online. So it was a good thought, whoever or whenever it was put in. But the misconception is that it's somehow protecting everything inside that unit, and it is not. Everything is powered off of a terminal block in there. The lines come into the terminal block, and then they leave there, and they disperse throughout the different boards and so on and so forth. All that's being watched right now is the voltage itself, and it shuts the unit off as though it had reached perfect temperature and everything was great, and it just shuts it down. It doesn't control anything else. We can do that. We can use that phase monitor to operate another set of relays that can turn on and turn off anything that somebody tells us to do. at this point in time, we don't have any direction on that, and until we do, then it would have to go through, obviously, through the shop and figure it out. But right now, the units are operating as they're supposed to, and when the tech did come out and he did look at it, he thought it was wired incorrectly. And when I came out and started looking at it, he got back in touch with our people and said that he was incorrect, that they were wired exactly like they should be wired into the system, and he was wrong. So it was nice of him to step forward and make that claim to fame, because it really puts egg on everybody's face when you really don't know. And I can stand here and tell you that we were right, but you're looking, it's hard to take that spot, But I got the guy, whoever it was, I give him kudos because he stepped up. He talked to his bosses, he talked to other techs, and so on and so forth, and determined yes, it's wired correct. Okay. Any questions?
After the Amoresco is going to come up also too this week, correct?
Sure.
And then will we be able to have enough information to possibly do a joint session and come up with an RFP to address this situation?
Hoping so.
That would be
Okay.
termination for
Hoping
these
so.
guys.
Hope so, okay, because we got to go somewhere with this.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Just echo some of Steve's Commissioner Hollifield's comments as well. And thank you, Director Davis Reed, and your staff for been really, really busy. A lot of stuff with the weather, especially getting stuff done. And still at the beginning of the month, we were able to find time to get up all the Christmas decorations. They look great. So thank you. Just wanted to point out, that we appreciate that.
One other thing, the auditor's office, they are going to try and get up there. So there's 17 inches of snow and slush on the roof right now. So when we get time to get up there we can't shovel it off. There's nowhere to take 17 inches of snow up there. So they are kind of watching that, going to try and get a camera down the drain on that as soon as we can and see what we got going on. So they are monitoring that daily as well.
Thank you for all the information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to say one last thing before I sit down. These guys have been great this week. It's been really busy. I know they've been busy with a lot of things, but just with the heating issues alone, nobody wants to get called to the jail at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning.
No, they don't.
Believe me. Nobody. But we did. These guys were there. They were both there. Commissioner Hollyfield came down, and just the entire staff seems to really be doing a good job. And then Monday night, I've been on a lot of emergency deals with Miss Grammarosa. It was my first time with Mr. Hollyfield, and it's the first time I've ever been on the end of a 3-foot pipe wrench with a commissioner. And so, thank you.
Still couldn't break it loose.
We still couldn't get it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, any other department heads? Okay, so I did want to touch base on something. Our last meeting, there were some concerns brought up about Bridge 503 and Bridge 39. I did ask the consultant to come in because they had done some work, and I wanted them to be able to come up and kind of explain what had happened on those bridges, if you could.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name's Mac Knowles. I'm one of the owners and the operations manager for USI Consultants. Based in Indianapolis, we have an office here in LaPorte County. There have been a few projects that have been a part of discussions over the last year or so. I'm going to speak about County Road 300, which is a construction inspection project that our company worked on. And Brandon is going to talk to a couple of the projects that you mentioned specific to our NBIS or our bridge inspection program through our contract with you guys. I've probably got the toughest job because County Road 300, we underperformed on that project. I interviewed the folks in our office that worked on the project, and there were several items at the end of that project that were missed, that were in the plans, that our people and their services did not catch, that the contractor failed to either install them or failed to install them properly. There is also problems with our record keeping. We misplaced documents, and when we tried to go back and provide documents to your staff, we were not able to reproduce those documents. So I apologize for that. We take responsibility for that. We have adjusted some of our processes to try to minimize those types of accidents or mistakes from happening in the future. But all I can say is I apologize, and we'll do everything we can to not let those mistakes happen again. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Brandon, and he'll talk specifically to the 2 bridge projects.
Okay.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Pardon, I've never presented like this before, so bear with me. I would like to give just a brief bio of myself and history of working with LaPorte, just so you know where I come from. My name is Brandon Arnold. I am the Bridge Design Department Manager at USI Consultants. I've been employed at USI since 2016. I'm also a certified bridge inspection team leader with special certifications for fracture critical inspections and load ratings. My primary responsibilities at USI are to lead our bridge design department, manage bridge projects, and design projects. When workload demands, I also assist our bridge inspection department. I am the current acting secretary of the NDOT Structures Committee. In LaPorte, I have successfully completed several projects, including the replacement of the bridge on Otis Road over Little Calumet River, the replacement of the ceilings above the mechanical and electrical rooms over the Michigan City Lift Bridge, which we did with Andy, and he did a great job, and the rehabilitation of Bridge 512, which is in Michigan City, which carries Michigan Boulevard over Trail Creek next to Johnson Road. It's currently in design and ahead of schedule. With that background, I've been asked to come to speak to you tonight regarding the statements made in the previous commissioners' meetings that related to our company's performance and credibility. I want to state for the record that this presentation is in no way meant to be political. Our statements tonight are not to endorse any politician or party. I'm not going to mention any elected officials' names. I'm going to solely focus on the statements and just respond to those. During the meeting on November 19th, 2025, our contract for the design of the replacement of Bridge 180, which carries County Road 1600 south over Pittner Ditch, was presented to the board for approval by Mr. Mitch Bishop, LaPorte County Planner and ERC. I want to just make sure I get this in here. I want to quickly say thank you for your approval and execution of that, and we're very excited to begin that project for you. During Mitch's presentation, several questions were asked about USI, inaccurate depictions of our performance on 300 North. Well, actually, I take that statement back. I apologize. On Bridge 503, and which carries East Street over Trail Creek in Michigan City, and our inspection history on Bridge 39, which carries County Road 525 east over Little Kankakee River, were stated. It was publicly proclaimed that we copied pictures from inspection report to report for Bridge 503, and that we failed to properly inspect Bridge 39 in the years prior to its closing on September 12, 2024. I want to start with Bridge 503. Before I do that, though, I do want to address the questions that were asked in the November 19th meeting regarding our standing with NDOT and throughout the state of Indiana as they relate to professional bridge inspections. Little data. At this moment, there are 13,359 public bridges on the local system throughout Indiana. The remaining approximately 6,000 bridges on our interstates, U.S. routes, and state highways are under NDOT's jurisdiction. USI Consultants is currently responsible for inspecting 3,765 of the 13,359 local inventory bridges. That's 28.2%. We currently serve 25 of the 92 Indiana counties. Mr. Robert Koop, our Bridge Inspection Department Manager, is the acting secretary on the NDOT Bridge Inspection Committee. And simply put, we would not have achieved this status and level of respect in the industry without both competence and excellence. For LaPorte County, I want to point out that we began inspecting in 2016. Now I'll talk about Bridge 503. Bridge 503 crosses Trail Creek just south of the Blue Chip Casino. My colleague Ben Beer is going to hand out these packets to you. I have one extra one that I'll keep here for questions.
Thank you.
I can offer it to you at the end if you'd like.
Thank you.
Hand it to me.
This bridge is a 3-span painted steel beam bridge. Numerous utility facilities are suspended from the bridge between the beams, and the paint on the beams is peeling throughout. Corrosion of the west exterior beam and rocker bearings is present. Just so anyone watching online or in the future, this is just a point of education, I suppose. It's a federal law that every bridge that is publicly traveled must be inspected by a certified bridge inspection team leader every 2 years. The exceptions to that are those bridges classified in poor condition or worse. Those bridges have to be inspected more often, typically annually. The reports that we just handed the commissioners are every 2 years from 2014 through 2024. During our routine inspection, we evaluate every bridge element and give it a condition rating from 0, which means failed, to 9, which is excellent or brand new. Okay, I'm now going to do a very brief summary of the reports that I gave you. In 2014, Beam Longest and Neff was the inspection consultant. They've since been acquired by Aegis. At that time, the conditions for the deck, the superstructure, which is the top half, the substructure, which is the bottom half, were all given a 7, good condition, with scour noted. 2016, we took over as the inspection consultant. We dropped the ratings to a 6 as satisfactory. In 2016, we made a recommendation to replace and repair both expansion joints and mud walls. In 2018, we added the recommendation that said, recommend performing preventive maintenance in 2020 to extend the structural lifespan of the bridge. From 2020 through 2024, the conditions stay the same. We carried forward the same recommendation. As you look through those reports, please remember that the public statements previously made claim that USI copied pictures from one report to another to avoid visiting the bridge during an inspection cycle. I encourage you now, with the reports in your hands, to carefully inspect every single picture and every report that I am providing to try and find such duplication. I will also say that we intentionally take pictures of the same element from the same viewpoint over time to monitor the deterioration. You will see some pictures look similar, but the time of day they were taking, the level of overcast, the shadows, the level of deterioration is different. In short, we performed each inspection required in the manner required by the Federal Highway Administration and NDOT. No duplicate pictures were used. The previous statements made in this matter are false. I will now go to Bridge 39. Excuse me, Bridge 39. It carries County Road 525 east over Little Kankakee River. It is a 3-span adjacent pre-stressed concrete box beam bridge with open pile interior vents and reinforced concrete end vents. The exposed piles are plain steel, which means they're not epoxy coated, and they should have been filled with concrete.
Thank you.
The bridge was closed by USI on September 12, 2024. I visited the bridge yesterday. It remains closed and no construction work has yet been performed. The packets that were just handed to the commissioners is every bridge inspection report dating back to 2009 of that bridge. I'll now give a brief summary of those reports. In 2009, it was unknown who the inspection consultant was. The software did not provide it. The conditions for the deck, superstructure, and substructure were 6, 6, and 5 fair. The comments said piles with heavy expansion rust. 2010, BLN was the consultant. The condition ratings were the same. There's a picture provided in the 2010 report that shows rust at top of pile. 2012, same conditions. There's a note that says pile 4 at North Pier with 100% section loss of pile exposing concrete. 2014, BLN the consultant, same ratings. Piles with heavy expansion rust, especially at underside of cap. The recommendation is made in the 2014 report that says, rehabilitate pier piles by cleaning and encasing with concrete. I will pause and say that again. In 2014, BLN recommended rehabilitating the pier piles by cleaning and encasing with concrete. 2016, we take over as the inspection consultant. We drop the ratings to all 5s, being fair. We had the comment, heavy section loss on steel pile shells with exposed concrete interiors. We kept the same recommendation as BLN. 2018, the same. 2020, the same. 2022, we dropped the condition rating of the substructure to 4 poor, and we make the recommendation for replacement in 2025. 2023, same condition ratings, same recommendation. And then came 2024. On September 11th, 2024, my colleague Brett Longenecker, who is also a certified bridge inspection team leader, went to the bridge and needed to downgrade the condition rating of the substructure to a 3 serious. He needed to find a critical finding. What happened was he got to the pile that was shown in the last meeting that was disconnected, or that is disconnected today, and he saw a pinhole, and he described it as a dime to nickel sized pinhole that he went up and looked through the pile and he could see through it. For a pile that should have been filled with concrete, that is alarming. He then started scraping all of the rust away, which created the disconnection that was shown in the picture in November. He immediately, per the requirements of the Federal Highway and NDOT, filed what is called a critical finding, which is a structural or safety-related deficiency that requires immediate follow-up inspection or action. If labeled as urgent, which he did, it requires that the county highway address the situation within 24 hours. While he was filing that critical finding, the president of our company, Mike Oberfeld, called me, and since I live nearby, he said, "Brandon, would you please go look at it tomorrow?" And so I did. When I got there, I evaluated the condition of the pile that in question, plus the remaining piles, and it was my decision to close the bridge.
How did the process of the closing go then? How were you able to close the bridge?
Sure. So I made the decision to close it. I immediately called Mr. Mitch Bishop and Jay Sullivan at the LaPorte County Highway, and I said, we need to close this bridge. Please bring temporary barricades. Within an hour, they had their highway staff out there. They themselves saw it. They looked at the pile and responded with choice words and said, yep, we're going to go get the barricades. And within an hour, it was shut off. Signs were placed. LaPorte County has received the recommendations to address the deterioration of the substructure of Bridge 39 since 2014. The recommendation to replace the bridge has been provided since 2022. In no way has USI failed to identify the need for rehabilitation or replacement of this bridge since we began inspecting LaPorte County's bridge inventory. Such claims or implications are false and misleading. There was also a statement made online about a year ago that said, a citizen asked, how long have you known about this bridge? The response provided by the LaPorte County official said it was closed within 5 minutes of me finding out. That may have been logistically true, as I'm assuming Mitch and Jay called all commissioners as soon as they knew to let you know. So within 5 minutes of this person finding out, it may have been closed. However, that's misleading because it implies that that commissioner made the decision to close it. The decision to close Bridge 39 was mine and mine alone.
All right, well, thank you.
As I close, I want to express that I truly hope the issue of misrepresentation of USI consultants will cease. Our desire is to create infrastructure that stands the test of time and provides safe means of travel for our families, neighbors, the citizens of LaPorte County, and the general public. It's what we are passionate about and is what we do well. Thank you for your time during my part of the presentation. God bless and an early Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyone want to add anything else? Okay.
It's that bridge is in my neighborhood, and I hope he gets fixed soon.
Thank you for coming out and explaining that to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate the updates here tonight. Over the over the past couple of years, I had Jay, or Mr. Sullivan, our prior county engineer, reach out with some of my concerns, and it would have been great to have had this addressed, last year or the year before that, as some of these issues have come up. One of the things I am curious about, and when Mr. Sullivan came up with, for example, with the bridge over Trail Creek, were you ever able to juxtapose how some of those, so obviously, what you've given me here tonight, we've got fresh photos here and lined up according to where they are. We're ever able to figure out how a report came into the hands of our county engineer that had older photos in it with a current report, but that had older photos in it.
This is me guessing. I don't know the answer to that question. I'm sorry, but this is me guessing. Recently, about 2 or 3 years ago, NDOT decided to change the software for bridge inspections. They changed it to a software that, frankly, does not function. When it first came out, you could not even print a report. So some of the reports in there is actually us creating it manually because their software is broken. It is possible, perhaps, that some of those pictures through that software got into that report. I'm not certain, though. I cannot claim that as fact, but that is my only guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Oh, and if you guys ever have any questions about our work, please call me. I would love to come talk with you. So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other department head comments? Moving on to request, we have none. No old business, new business. Consider right-of-way service contract with HWC for Bridge 7. I'm looking in the audience. Mitch is not here.
Mitch
Did
is here.
anyone else?
Which says a
Yes.
family thing, so I think, Guy, you
I reviewed
overlooked
it. It's fine.
So what would be the
I
pleasure?
make a
of this?
motion, we approve the contract as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Do we have any questions?
Oh, I had one question. On page 17, before the contract is signed and everything else, they need to change the name. Still got Richard Brzezinski as commissioner.
Yeah, just cross it out when you sign it.
Okay. I'm not looking for glory.
Put in an
trust me.
initial.
That's just I found that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Consider Maximus contract for 2026 cost allocation plan.
I reviewed the contract. It's the same contract as last year.
What is the pleasure of the board?
Make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consider EDA contract for auditor's office.
EDA Consulting helps us with our CNAV, our net asset valuations. He also helps us with our TIFs and many other questions that come up during the year. When cities create their own TIFs, we've got to incorporate them at our level, and it doesn't go official until we get it. This is the gentleman with the expertise that helps us get through that. It's an ongoing, every month activity with him. And we've also met our reports on a timely basis, and he's been contracted even before me.
Pleasure of the board.
Thank you. I'd make a motion to approve this contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Consider Nyhart contract for auditor's office.
You skipped Suclis?
Oh, yes, I did. Consider Suclis municipal consulting contract.
Yeah, so Suclis Municipal Consulting helps us with our budgeting process. And despite starting early, than in the past. It still wasn't early enough. So we are looking at better ways of closing our books sooner so that and these are steps that we're working on taking in 26, but he's the one who really helped us get through the process and walked us through certain procedures that we would not have known and made the process a lot easier. We received the 1782 notice with very little change, and the change did not affect much, at all to us. We're just now waiting for the final state approval, which they don't usually put out until after December 31st. I think they have an early date of January 3rd, and then January 15th is their far deadline. So with his support and his help, that made a difference, and no one person from our office can perform these types of services. So we would like to retain him again.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Under G, consider First Amendment to build.
Now we can do the
Nyhart contract.
Sorry.
Oh, mamma mia. Consider Nyhart contract for auditor's office.
Now, this is something that has to do with pensions. And so this has got to do with some actuarial reporting that's required under governmental accounting standards. And this is not a bailiwick. Even as a CPA, this is not my area of expertise. I'm more on the commercial side than I am on the municipal side. So this is something that we definitely, this has been, as far as I know, they've been contracted for more than the last administration, going back a couple administrations prior. So their fees are very similar, and also something else that there's no talent in the office to do this is really something that needs a specialist for. And they've also done the work in a timely manner.
Pleasure of this board.
Make a motion to accept the contract.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now going on to G, consider First Amendment to build, operate, transfer agreement with Kingsbury Rail Project. Matt?
So commissioners, this is, there's three contracts that have to do with KIP. You have the BOT, and then you have the switcher agreement as the main agreements. And so because they were done at different times, and then we have the agreement for reimbursement with the bridge, they were all done at different times, that you can't have the BOT agreement terminating before the switcher agreement, because should there be a problem with the BOT, you're still going to have JBC as the switcher. So the only thing this does is make the first term equal between BOT and the switcher agreement. And it's been approved by the RDC, and we just need your signature on this.
Yes.
So it's not an extension of the existing switcher agreement.
It's an realignment of the timeline, Commissioner Joe.
The switcher agreement is not being modified. It's only the BOT. Because remember, this was the first document that was done.
Right.
So what we did was align the revenue sources by authorizing them. And at the time, I think the commissioners were made aware of it. It was, I don't think the county's going to get in the rail business, and that's where the switcher notion came in, and somebody had to sign a contract with CSX Railroad. And that was, after Guy reviewed that, his recommendation was we should not be in the railroad business. No. So that's when the switcher was brought on board. So what we did is align this, and then it aligns the revenue. So again, as the part of that agreement, funds will come back to the county for use of the county investment. So we're finally getting started with that.
Yeah, and if you listen, Ms. Grammarosa was at the RDC, they're looking at being able, with the numbers right now that they're looking at next year, we're looking at maybe $160,000 or $170,000 being paid back towards that $500,000 that
And we did receive a check this year as well.
Yeah.
So we should get that $500,000, $525,000 paid back to the county, and then it becomes a revenue stream for the county.
Will that money go into the RDC or to the general fund?
I can go where
Wherever they choose.
leadership wants to go, I suppose.
If I may, we're currently keeping it in a separate fund.
Okay.
So until we reach the total reimbursement.
Yeah.
The 5.5.
And that way, when it comes time, we can audit it appropriately, because that is allowed. But there's no need to do something so early. We did receive for the month of October and the month of I believe it's October, November, approximately. I think it was 37,000 combined. It's 13,000, 24,000, if I remember the numbers correctly.
Yeah, but that's not just for 1 month. They were in the arrears
okay.
in their accounting,
Okay.
so they brought it up.
So it was a catch-up period, and it was through the end of November, so that was the first payment, and we are segregating it for that reason, and we'll work with the council on how that can be spent.
So we finally got trains going across them tracks.
Finally.
Thank God.
Thank you.
So the pleasure of the board.
I'll make a motion to approve the BOT agreement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then coming to our last one, H, ratifying the declaration of emergency on the Juvie Center.
I was out there with maintenance and project management crew. We've got one unit down, like Angie spoke earlier. It's where the dorms are at. So it needs to be done and needs to be done immediately, considering, this is not the 1st of April. It's not even the 1st of January yet. And they found one in Indianapolis, I believe, but it's like $13,000. But we have to have it now. And the other one that needs to be replaced can be waited on, and it'll be $6,000. And with it being so cold, and those are kids out there, we need to make sure this gets done immediately.
And so before us tonight is the ratification of the emergency order, correct?
Right, that was signed by Mr. Karanka and Ms. Cramarosa.
Okay. Yeah. I would make a motion to ratify that then.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn?
No,
well,
sorry.
What else?
I got a couple things.
Okay.
So I got one too.
There were some questions regarding the proposed easement that goes along with the annexation of that small piece of property for the armory.
Yep.
My recommendation is that you go ahead and give the authority to approve it, because you can't do one without the other.
It's the same.
Water is not going to be able to
Yeah.
flow
Yeah.
to the armory or to our piece of
out in the
property
parking lot,
also.
so, okay.
So,
And for clarification, that's just the
No.
utility easement. That's not an annexation. That's not extending.
just an easement, just over our property, or
right.
under our property.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I've no problem with that, and make a motion to accept it.
Okay. Second thing, I was in Michigan City in trial this week, and there was a nice addition to the second floor in Michigan City outside Superior 4. And so what they have is they have folks that have to come to court sometimes, and they have their kids. And so they set up like a little library there with some books and little seats and educational books and crayons and things like that. I thought that was a very nice touch. If the commission would accept this, my firm would like to duplicate that here for the courthouse here in this building, and we would go ahead and purchase everything that's needed and keep on replenishing it if we get the approval from the commission. So they have a little table, they have 2 little chairs, they have a little bookshelf, and they have things like that, because sometimes the kids have to go with the parents to court.
Yeah.
So if you all would like that, once we can find some space when that's cleaned up on the second floor, we would like to donate that.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Building maintenance, can you find a spot for them?
I think that's an awesome idea. Do we need a motion to approve that?
No,
Or,
just say,
okay.
yeah.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
I'd like to add for adjournment. I got an email from former Commissioner Rich Brzezinski. He wants to give kudos to the Highway Department for what they did over the last 2 weeks. They got 150 north down there, down to bare pavement. It's looking wonderful. And I also want to send out kudos to the EMS who are out there, the Sheriff's Department, building maintenance, keeping everything. It was 0, wind chills below 0, and they kept working through all that. They did a wonderful job. Just want to congratulate all of you guys for doing this thankful job. Just make sure you guys get applauded once in a while.
Here, here.
We had a tough couple weeks.
Yes.
And it's early yet. February's the coldest.
Thanks.
All right. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.